What I have here is a visual representation of two octaves of a keyboard, and this is included in the email that I sent you today. We're going to use this to talk about what we call intervals, which are the spaces or the distance between different notes. One rule you're always going to have to remember is whatever note you start on, you have to count as one. The music that I've written for today's class that we've seen, the C major and the C minor scales, they start on C. So for right now, we're going to start right here on C. Now we are always going to start on 1. So C right now is our 1. I want to talk about the two different kinds of D that we have on a keyboard. We have this black key right here, which is both a C sharp and D flat. It is the same exact note, but we just have two different names for it. And we have the D natural right here. Now, from C to D, if you count notes starting with 1, we have 1, 2. C to D flat is a kind of a second. Now also, C to D natural, we start with C as 1, 2. C to D is also a kind of a second. Now, think back to the Ursa minor and the Ursa major that I showed you at the beginning of this class. Minor means small and major means big. So right now, if we look at these two different kinds of seconds, we have a shorter amount of distance to go from this white key to this black key. This is a small step. We call this a minor second. C to D flat is a minor second. C to D natural, though, we're going to take a slightly larger step. We're skipping the small step and taking a larger step from C to D. We call this a major second because it's a slightly bigger step. Now, this doesn't have to start on C. I'm just starting on C because that's where our music starts today. We can start on any note that we could possibly want. I'm just going to jump up here to B. Right now, I want to see what kind of note is a minor second and a major second away from B natural. So we're going to start counting 1 on B. And let's start with a minor second. Let's take the smallest step we possibly can. We go from B, which is a white key, to C, which is also a white key. Now over here, the minor second was a white key to a black key. That's not what all minor seconds are. Some minor seconds can be from a white key to another white key because there's nothing here. This is a little gap, but that's because this is a doubled image. There's no key that exists between B and C. So a minor second above B natural is C natural. Now let's figure out a major second. Okay, this isn't going to look as much like a step, but trust me, it's still a step. A major second, we're going to start on B, and we're going to skip exactly one note and go to the next one. So we start with B as 1, we're going to skip 1 and call this one 2. From B to C sharp, that's a major second. B to C natural, minor second, B to C sharp, major second. And of course, these intervals can start with these black keys. I'm going to choose this one. Again, we're going to stick with some sort of B. I'm going to treat this as a B flat instead of thinking of it as an A sharp. So from B flat, let's talk about, actually, we will treat it as an A sharp first and as a B flat. That might not make a ton of sense, but bear with me. So this key, it's the same note, only one note will come out when you press this key, but it can have two different notes. Let's think of it as an A sharp, and let's think, what is a half step or a minor second away from A sharp? So we're on this black key. We're going to take the smallest step up that we possibly can. From A sharp is 1, 2 is this B natural. A minor second above A sharp is B natural. Now let's change our mind about what this note is. Let's treat this like a B flat. And let's talk about a minor second, let's talk about a major second above B flat. So we're going to start here with a 1. We're not going to go straight to this note. We have to skip exactly one note for a major second. We start with B flat as 1, skip B natural, and we have C. B flat to C is a major second. Now, intervals are not only seconds, but seconds are important. Intervals can be as big or as small as you want. minor second is the smallest you can get without just playing the same note twice. Again, because the music today starts on C, let's start with C. And I know you can't see the music, but we're going to think of the major scale we had earlier, which was C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C again. We don't have any flats or sharps in the C major scale. Let's start at C. We've already established that from C to D, we have 1, 2 is a major second. Now let's count the intervals of all the other notes starting from C. C to E, we have 1, 2, 3. We call the distance from C to E a third. And we call the distance from C to E a major third because the last second of that interval from D to E is a major second. We have this half step that we're skipping from D to E. So this last step is major. So that means this whole thing from C to E is also major. Let's keep going. C to F, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We call this a fourth. Now fourths, fifths, and when we get up to C, those are different. We don't call these major, we call them perfect. And that's for a reason that I'll talk about in a future class. So from C to F, we have 1, 2, 3, that's a perfect fourth. Let's go C to G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we call this a perfect fifth. Let's go from C to A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to call this a major sixth because the last second is major. So the whole distance from C to A is a major sixth. Keep going. We have C, D, E. I'm sorry, I should use numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. C to B is a seventh. And because this is a whole step and we're skipping that small step here, because this is a major second, the distance from C to B is a major seventh. And last one is C to C. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we don't call this an eighth, we call this an octave. And like the fourth and the fifth, the octave we call perfect. That's the intervals in a major scale. One more thing before this video closes out is let's talk about the intervals in a minor scale. The minor scale starts out C to D, just like the other one. So we have a major second here. Remember, we're skipping this minor, this small step here. So we have C to D as a major second. Now in the minor scale, we have an E flat. So we're not going to go all the way up to E. We're just going to go to E flat. We have 1, 2, 3. But because D to E flat is a minor second, C to E flat is a minor third. Let's keep moving up the minor scale. Let's go up to F. We have 1, 2, 3, E flat, 4. C to F is still a perfect fifth. A perfect fourth. Speaking of perfect fifth, C to G is still going to be a perfect fifth in minor. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the A we have in the C minor scale is an A flat. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. C to A flat is still a sixth, but this is a small step here. So the C to A flat is a minor sixth. We have a B flat in the C minor scale. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. C to B flat is still a seventh, and it's going to be a minor seventh because of this last small step we make. And C to C, as we will see, is still going to be an octave. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not an eighth, but C to C is still an octave.